I remade the best Godzilla video with modern VFX. You guys, I've never met anybody else that puts as much time as FilmCorE does into a video. You guys need to go support him. Link down below. Let's see what we got here, man.
This is a cinematic introduction for the 2004 game Godzilla Save the Earth.
Oh, wow.
And I just remade it using modern...
Oh my gosh! Bro, this man, listen, dude, FilmCorE is next. You guys have no idea.
Because it's my favorite piece of Godzilla media. You see, not only did it feature a plethora of Godzilla's enemies teaming up to destroy the city and take him on, but the dynamic and cinematic camera movement, proper scale framing, and incredible fluidity and effects were things that we Godzilla fans hadn't seen from our favorite hero before. And when it started circulating the internet in 2008, my 10-year-old brain fell in love. I soon after began to make my own little movies with my Godzilla toys, and 15 years later, here I am. I've always dreamed of seeing an updated version, and because there might be another 10-year-old kid out there waiting to be inspired just how I was, I took it upon myself to update it with modern visual effects and remake my favorite piece of Godzilla media. To do this, the first thing we...
Bro, that's insane because I'm not even 10 years old and I'm inspired. I love animating, bro. Dude,
like
I'm ready right now.
3D model. Or in
Wait, he's gonna do this in Blender?
this case, 3D models. Luckily, being the Godzilla guy, I already had a head start. However, this old model is inaccurate and not up to my current standards. I made it from my old videos where I had to have 10 Godzillas on screen at once, so I couldn't go all out on just one model as I didn't want my brain or computer to explode.
You know, I think one time I had messaged him and he told me it takes like 36 hours sometimes for a video to render.
I just bought a 4090, my mental health was apparently too stable, and I even had money left over to buy a fire extinguisher. I wanted to try and go out for this. So I brought my old model into ZBrush.
How long did it take to render, bro?
And decided to sculpt every scale by hand to try and make it as accurate to the real suit as possible. Once I had finished and gone to therapy, I brought it in for texturing, which is where I give it color and try to make it look like
this video is so good, dude.
Instead of just polygons. I then brought it back to Blender to give it a skeleton, which will allow me to...
Bro, you guys don't even have an idea of how much work goes into this. You don't have a clue.
Animate it later on.
Oh my gosh.
We had our finished model of Godzilla 2000.
Godzilla 2000!
Next up is my personal favorite, Kiryu, or Mechagodzilla 3.
I like Mechagodzilla, dude.
Thankfully, I already had quite a high quality model of him, so he just needed a subdivision and some procedural scratches and highlights for those shots where we get really up close.
Mechagodzilla 3!
Actually, I don't like that. Give me 1 second.
What?
Kiryu!
Hell yeah. For King Ghidorah,
dude,
the clues definitely tell us that it's supposed to be Heisei Ghidorah, at least visually. But my Heisei model is really outdated, and I spent all my time sculpting Godzilla's scales. So remaking Ghidorah from scratch was out of...
And I spent all my time making Godzilla scales.
Seeing the original again, none of what we see is really consistent with only one version, so it gave me an excuse to forego accuracy and instead use this fabulous Shin Ghidorah model from our friend Binding.
Shin Ghidorah!
And now last and least, for Megalon and Gigan, nah, I'm just kidding, Gigan is pretty cool, and Megalon...
I don't like Gigan, dude, but...
for them, I simply downloaded pre-existing models and gave them both a slight retexture to make them look extra sexy.
Gigan!
Wow.
Megalon!
Wow!
Once all the models are ready to go, it's time to start the animation. Now, typically, this is where I would spend the next couple of days animating them by hand. Which I definitely did for all of them except...
Wait, he did it by a couple of days? You were able to do all of those? You must have a really fast workflow then.
Godzilla. Considering Godzilla has traditionally been...
Or do you mean days as in like 24 hours of editing multiple times? Or do you mean like a work day, 4 or 5 hours, and then... That's nuts.
There was no more fitting thing than to do the modern equivalent of that and try to do motion capture for the big G.
Okay.
So I got my very expensive motion capture suit from Xsense, whose very tight shirt reminds me that I should lock my pantry after 3 a.m. And once I was strapped in, I ran through the entire...
Bro, my boy got some guns, bro! Y'all don't want none of FilmCorE, son! Hey, FilmCorE knock your head off, my boy.
3 a.m. And once I was strapped in, I ran through the entire scene and just really tried to channel my inner 300-foot tall monster. I then brought this motion data back into Blender and applied it to my skeleton. At first it looks pretty wonky, but this is where retargeting comes in, which allows me to put everything where it needs to be. What was really amazing about this is that in
What?
less than a day, I was able to have completed and super high quality animations, which would have taken me at least a couple of days to try and get to this fidelity. And the last step
What?
inside Blender was to add in that special sauce, which is applying wiggle to things like the spines and thighs, which makes the monsters look and feel heavy and much more realistic.
Yeah.
Once all the animations are finished, I poured everything into Unreal Engine so I can do this scene build and get our final image. This is just a back and forth between getting something that works for the scene and looks good on camera. If you remember seeing the end,
Bro, was your 4090 had to be out of control, man. It had to be
you might have
mind-numbing.
noticed one glaring issue: no tail movement.
Oh
The
no.
solution is to make a physics asset so certain bones from the model can interact with their surroundings if they're set to simulate. I'm then able to record this motion and apply it back into our shots. But I bet you thought I almost forgot about the most important character, the fisherman, but I didn't. While there are a few different ways to create a 3D human, I wanted to try my hand at Unreal's metahumans, which are super high fidelity human models. So I opened up the metahuman editor, which works in your browser for some reason, and I customized the metahuman to match it as closely as possible to the original one. I also had to make him go balding, as it makes adding a cap to him much easier. Sorry guy. I again motion captured his movement and then exported him out to Blender so I could apply this motion. This is also where I gave him his sweater and his cap, and now it's all back into Unreal.
Fisherman.
The scene build was relatively
Fisherman.
simple. I made the sonar instead of After Effects and added
Oh my
it to the
gosh.
scene, and the last step was the facial animation, which I really want to delve into more in a future video. I was going to do the same thing for the singer girl, but I was tired and lazy at this point. So I instead got this piece of stock footage, got AI to rotoscope it for me, which was fantastic, then just added this background and made it glitch out into the GeForce sign. I can then just add this into my scene along the Pipeworks logo to give credit to the original creators. And now for how to make the worst
My gosh.
NPC crowd of all time. You start off by running out of video memory, which you can tell when things begin to get blurry. There is this really nice NPC crowd from Epic Games themselves, but
This
it's
is
too fancy for
nuts.
us right now. Thankfully, these exist, and they even come with animations.
Oh,
So
that's
we drop them
helpful.
all into an actor blueprint, scatter them around, and give them their animations. Then we're able to drop them in and duplicate them. I also did the same thing for the traffic, where I created a long line of cars, then simply scattered them around as needed. And the last step is just ensuring the camera is sufficiently far away.
Oh, dude, your camera looks so cool, man. Mine's just like a
The
floating
footsteps,
thing.
I simply took these debris pieces and animated them coming out of the ground with every step. With a little particle system, it looks pretty great.
Holy crap.
The last thing I needed were the flying saucers. I could make these quickly, but I opted instead to get these ones to have them be a bit more modern. And now, with all the visuals finished, I could hit render, which would take around 12 hours for the entire thing.
You guys have no idea. 12 hours, bro, with a 4090. And I'm sure, dude, FilmCorE has like an i10 1590K processor with 64 gigabytes of RAM, dude. The 12 hours of rendering. I'm trying to see 2,000 frames. If you're going at 60 frames a second, that is a lot. Dude, that is so much work. That is so much work.
So, needing a break to recharge my batteries for the final stretch, I got my old Godzilla DVDs and popped one in. But in my tired stupor, I didn't realize I had popped in Godzilla's Revenge, the worst Godzilla movie, and I instantly died. The only clue was a better Godzilla movie, and luckily, my laptop was at arm's reach. Unfortunately, being Canadian meant nothing good was available, but I didn't fret, because with NordVPN, I was able to switch my location.
That was such a good flow into the ad, bro. Into the sponsor.
Once it had finished rendering, I added music and then brought it in for sound mixing, which is where I add sound.
My
The last
gosh!
step was to do some light post-processing, and now, with everything out of the way, here is our modern remake of the Godzilla Save the Earth introduction.
Before anybody before you get my reaction, bro, I'm appalled right now. This is absolutely just mind-blowing. As a person that wants to get into animating, I've gotten into animating, I've done some animating. This is next level, man. You guys have to go support this dude. Please, I'm begging y'all to please go over to FilmCore's channel and support him, man. This is crazy. There's no way. This is all made by one dude. Oh, wow.
Godzilla!
This might be your best work. This might be your best work. Hold on, we gotta make sure we're in like 4K, dude. Wow. Oh my gosh! The lighting. Dude! Oh my gosh! Bro, this is your best work. Oh my gosh, I'm speechless, you guys. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
And so, needless to
Bro.
say, I'm very happy with how it turned out, and I hope I made the original creators and my 10-year-old self proud.
Oh,
But
bro, no doubt.
I only gave myself 30 days to do this, and I had a lot of fun, which makes me wonder what I could do if I had a little more time to make something of my own. Huh.
Godzilla Shogun by FILMCORE. No! No!
It's going to take a while. Subscribe.
Bro! Oh my gosh. You guys, please go over and support FILMCORE. This is, all right, listen, man. This is about to be nuts. You give this dude enough time and his own free thinking. I've seen his storytelling before, personally. This dude is a genius with filmmaking and storytelling and creation and sounds, and this is about to be nuts, bro. This is about to be nuts. Like, I'm so pumped for this. You guys, I've said it 100 times. Go support FILMCORE. Go over to FILMCORE's channel right now. Hit the like button, subscribe. He even has a super chat, super thanks thing. Just go do it all, because it's about to be nuts. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. I'm so pumped right now. I'll see you beautiful, amazing people in the next video. Bye.